Spider-Man is a street level hero the same way that Breaking Bad is a show about a chemistry teacher. It's like technically that is accurate, but it's a wildly incomplete explanation.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my friend who loves the street. It's Frank. How are you today?
I'm here at the street level to suss out
gravel, cobblestone, whatever that street is. Frank's there.
Tar. I love the smell of tar in the morning.
Do you? Yeah. You know, I do like wet tar, like that spring or summer. It just started to rain, and now I can.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
on the asphalt. I actually do like that smell.
That can be a really comforting smell.
It is a delightfully comforting smell.
Yes.
Are you delightfully comforting a drink this evening?
I'm comforting my porch rocker through this difficult time.
Oh, very good. I mean, it could have gone the other way. Is the drink comforting you? Yeah,
that's usually how it goes for most people. But I try to go the other way. Yeah, this is Sam Adams Lemon Radler called Porch Rocker. Tim and I have been big fans of it for years. It's an annual favorite on this show, and yeah, it is a lager with natural flavors and lemon puree added, and it's very
yeah. How's the lemon this year?
Yeah, this year it's not too tart. It's a little more sweet, and I like it.
Good.
That's how I like it.
I like the new can design too.
Yes.
Yeah, Sam's pretty up in front now.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually so much up in front. He's covering his own letters.
Exactly. Yeah, he's raising the mug, covering his own letters. Yeah, even though it's Paul Revere, as you taught me.
I did teach you that because he was.
Although on this can, it's actually not even that face. It's just sort of a generic kind of face. Yeah,
guy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a twist. It's Thomas Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Just go through a different founding father every year. See if anybody notices. That would be so fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Did you collect the year they did Washington?
Yeah. Why? No, I got I got Adams.
Yeah.
Alien Sedition Act. What are you gonna do? You know. Yeah, good stuff. History nerds out there? Any listeners? A history nerd? No, just.
I think we got a couple. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Please, the show's called Beer with Geeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Be serious here. Absolutely. I'm not drinking a beer this evening. I'm drinking a hard cider. I'm drinking a Stormalong.
Oh, yes.
A legendary dry hard cider. This is made from heirloom and bittersweet apples. On the scale of dry, medium sweet, and sweet, it's between a dry and a medium dry. And Stormalong comes from Millis, Massachusetts. And the can is awesome. Not only is this Captain Seafaring Man smoking a pipe, but there's also cracking-tentacles everywhere.
I was going to say it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Very, very appropriate for. Well, I know they're from Massachusetts, but you're in Rhode Island, and that the Kraken always.
We are technically the ocean state.
Yes.
Yes. Even though
wasn't Lovecraft from?
Lovecraft was from
Newport
Island. He lived in Providence.
Providence. Okay.
I'm actually not sure if Lovecraft was originally from Massachusetts or not, though, because he has a couple of stories that take place in Massachusetts.
Sure.
And, like by name, like Ipswich, and things like that. Made some stuff up. Arkham, where we get Arkham Asylum from, and Batman and stuff. But he was also famously racist. So
can't win them all.
It's like, you know what? Not everybody's perfect. It's terrible, but
unfortunately, it seems to be the case.
Yeah,
not everybody's perfect. But some say Spider-Man is
he's close to
pretty
perfect,
close to perfect.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, as a character, not really. Our love for him might be perfect, a pure whole love that we feel for very few things in our lives: our wives, our children, this show, each other, Spider-Man, whatever. But so there's a Spider-Man movie coming out quite soon, and there's been this like wave that I've seen where people have been complaining. We're not complaining, we're just talking about it, that the Spider-Man of the MCU has not been very street level. Like people
Mhm.
consider Spider-Man a street level character, because he beats up the guys robbing the bank and stuff like that. I guess so. And so like, but this one with the inclusion of like some lower key non-multiversal villains and things like that, the Punishers in the movie, things like that. Like, has Spider-Man returned to being a street level character? But my question to you is Spider-Man a street level superhero at all? Like,
Like to begin with.
to begin with, is he a street level character? Because I actually think what people consider to be like a street level character, like they're fighting. I don't know what is even a street level character. What does that even mean? Like,
That's actually a that's actually kind of yeah, because like street level is is more about the tone of like the stories being told, right? Than about the powers, right?
right? I
Like
that's yes, I think that's true. Um,
like it's you can have different sets of powers and still be street level, but like what makes it street level is the setting and the tone of that setting, right?
right, you got to pound the tar, right, in some way, right? So
I do
like
love the smell of tar, so you're speaking my
exactly,
language.
exactly. So, but like Daredevil is a street level character, even though he has superpowers
Right.
because he pounds the tar. Right?
Yeah.
He's not flying in a spaceship. He's not going to different universe most of the time or things like
Hmm.
that. Right? He's running across the rooftops and eventually will end up on the street. Is that what
Yes.
street level means?
Right.
Uh, right. But how much superpower can you include before it's no longer a street level character
Right.
or a street level story?
Well, I think like okay, the things that make him street level, like he's in Queens, he's got to make rent, he's got Aunt May, he's got J. Jonah Jameson, he's got MJ's, acting career. Like the stakes are all like working class, normal guy stakes,
Sure.
everyman stakes, not cosmic, right?
Sure. Okay.
The tone is pretty blue collar and quippy and not like vigilante or god tier stuff. Like he stops muggings. He's kind of gets grouped in narratively with you mentioned Daredevil and also like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Like they're all sort of in the same New York um, characters that give a face to your problems. Right? Like that's so in that sense, he's kind of street level.
But he's not always that
But he's
though.
not entirely, right?
Right.
Because
Like, yeah, because there have been eras of Spider-Man where he's like a billionaire running a company. He's got high-tech suits and he's got the
oh,
multiverse and um
not to mention like just the his origin alone is like pure sci-fi,
right. It's
you
like,
know?
yeah, he become like he has like I would argue that Spider-Man is more science fiction than straight street
I
level.
mean, his origin is basically like a Fantastic Four style art, right? So like yeah, like
Right.
it is
Right.
very much in that wheelhouse. And he's like, garage inventor with the web shooters and web fluid and stealth suit and Iron Spider and all that kind of like the sort of homemade Tony Stark aesthetic.
Sure. Well, I mean, anybody, somebody's going to throw a tomato at you, but like the Iron Spider is an Iron Man creation that Spider Man wears. But he does have high tech suits in Dan Slott's era of the comics from a number of years ago, and so like you could argue even the web shooters are like he's like of genius level intellect.
Yeah.
Like you just don't create that. I remember being a kid asking my dad to make us web shooters. Like, yeah,
Mm,
you just like put the web, you just put the web in the thing and we press the thing and it's like a little spring and it shoots out and we grab it and we swing. You know how to do that. Like, go ahead.
yeah, easy,
He's
Dad.
like, what? No. can't do
A
that.
teenager can do it. Like, you should be able to do this.
Yeah, you can make this. You make lots of things. You made us Power Ranger costumes, Dad. You can
There you go.
obviously make us this.
Yeah, same
Um,
thing.
yeah, same difference.
He's the one that, like, like a Reed Richards, he's engineering these things himself, right?
Absolutely.
He's
Exactly.
building his own equipment.
Right. But then
And his rogues gallery too. Like, look at how science fiction-y they are.
exactly.
Osborn and Doc Ock and Kirk Connors and Electro and
And he does have some
Mysterio.
like say like street level, quote unquote street level villains. Like he's
Yeah,
got Tombstone, Mr. Negative, Kingpin.
Kingpin.
These are street level characters, but then I like, are they street level characters because they walk the pavement? Are they street level characters because they're concerned with things like extortion and not, blowing up New
Mm,
York for
hmm
Latveria or whatever? Is that what makes them street level? Because even then, like I, I think the means into which he superheroes kind of removes himself from the street. He is, in
Yeah,
fact, most of the time above the street,
sure.
swinging, swinging from webs. He's not like going undercover and like
Mm.
checking in with his informants most of the time. I don't know. It just doesn't like you can more easily tell a street. I know it's a different universe, but you can more easily tell a street level story with Batman, who you could also argue is no longer a street level hero. Like, yeah, he's like going into someone's apartment. Oh, it's a crime scene into this, and we're gonna hustle this and do this and this. But it's also like, and now let me pull out my laser sword and get into my Batman exosuit and get me in my
Sure.
rocket ship and go to the other side of the moon. And like, you
But
have
so, like,
feel.
that's a good example because he's got all this very sci-fi stuff too,
Hmm.
but he still feels very street level.
Yeah.
Right? Street level is again, it's about the stakes and not the because, like, the tech that he's got is more advanced than some Avengers, like, who are obviously not street level, but
But like,
um,
once you join the Avengers, let's say, do you
sure.
cease to be a street level hero?
Well, if you're joining them on, and fighting Thanos, then that's not a street level
Right.
encounter.
Right. And or on the opposite, are you still telling a street level story if there's elements like bigger elements in it? So like is the
Yeah.
inclusion of the Hulk in the new Spider-Man movie, is that no longer a street level story because
Hmm.
the Hulk is there? And like why wouldn't the Hulk be a street level character? Like
I
what
mean, yeah, he kind of
does he
can be.
solve crimes? You know? But he also like there are series of the Hulk where he's like in the dusty road and like maybe like solving a crime in a town before he becomes the Hulk and then he moves
Hmm.
on. It was like the whole Bill Bixby TV
I was
show
gonna
where
say, yeah,
that's a street level hero, is it
yeah,
not?
yeah,
Right?
yes,
Green Lantern, Green Arrow teaming up, going cross country is
sure.
the
Hard
green
traveling
is
heroes.
right. Is Green Lantern a street level hero because of that?
When yeah, I mean, again, it depends. Depends on the story, really.
Yeah.
Like,
So
it depends on what kind of story you're telling.
so I guess but so like from that standard, there are no street level characters anymore,
Hmm.
or everybody can be a street level character. And so anybody saying like, you know, so this isn't the correct Spider-Man or this isn't the correct Batman or whatever, just because like I was having a conversation with somebody the other day and they said like Spider-Man Homecoming is not a street level Spider-Man story because of the
Right.
inclusion of Iron Man.
Sure.
But that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, right. Because, like, just because, yeah, no, I agree with you. Actually, I don't think that it's still a pretty street level story. Like,
Right. Part of the
really.
argument was that he has like an AI in his suit. But I'm like, but I
Yeah.
have an AI on my phone.
Right. Yeah. That's I don't know about that because,
I mean, it's
like,
not the
yeah,
same,
sure, he's
obviously,
got
but
the I don't know, like, because he is like MCU Peter is very sci-fi with all the Stark tech and
mhm.
Edith and all that stuff. Um, and it definitely, pushed him. MCU definitely took him further away from the neighborhood than we typically see him, and I feel like that's isn't that kind of why No Way Home kind of resets him back to being a broke kid in Queens?
Right. Mhm.
Because like that's the version that works is when he is closer to being street level and the stakes are closer to street level.
And then, but even No Way Home, the villainy comes from the multiverse. So
That's
then
right.
does the multiverse mean that you're no longer street level because it's the
Well,
multiverse?
I would say No Way Home is not a street level story, but at the end of the story, he's back to being street
Oh, I
level.
see. Okay, I
It
understand.
resets
Yeah.
him at the end, right?
Hmm. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Like, do superheroes need the subgenre? Oh, he's this
Mm.
type of hero, or he's
Mhm, mhm.
this type of villain, or does that actually hurt them in the grand scheme of like in the longevity of characters surviving? Like, does Batman survive because he's all of these things and none of
Right.
these things? Like, I
Mhm.
can watch Batman and Robin for whatever travesty of a movie it is. I can watch it and go, that's still Batman. It's not a great movie, but it's definitely Batman. And I can watch the Batman and say, this is also Batman.
Mhm.
Like the full pendulum swing. We just watched Batman in 1989 for superhero slapback. It's still like that's also Batman,
Yep.
right? And so, but so can you do the same thing to anybody? Like, can you make an Iron Man story where like he doesn't really have like his exoskeleton suit, like he has a like an iron club and you know some knee pads and they
I
call him
mean,
Iron Man.
yeah, you could definitely you could do I mean, it would be kind of an Elseworlds type of story though, right? But you could do it where he's a kid building this stuff in his garage uh
Sure.
instead of uh instead of a billionaire. But um and in that type of a story, it could be more of a street level. Like fighting uh if he's fighting villains that are more on the street level, right? I think that's really what it for me. That's what the decision factor is like what
So it's actually not the hero themselves, it's the villain, and the villain determines the street level.
it's the story and the stakes of the story, right? Like, and the villain is part of the stakes.
Hmm. What is actually like the range? I don't disagree with you at all, actually.
Hmm.
I think you hit something here. Like what is the range like from street level to what?
Mm.
Cosmic hero? Like,
Yeah, cosmic was the word that came to me. Like the big grand sci-fi, like sprawling epic. Like, yeah, cosmic. I think is the other end of that continuum.
yeah, because Spider-Man is technically also a cosmic hero. He's even
Mm-hmm.
Cosmic Spider-Man at one point.
That's right.
Um, so but the Fantastic Four can also be street level. They're fighting Mole
Mm-hmm.
Man in the street. Is that street? So I guess like, but what's the you get street level to cosmic? Like, what's in the middle? Like, like where would you where
I
would
mean,
you?
that's cosmic would be on a universe scale, and then there's lots in between. There's planetary scale. There's saving Metropolis. There's like these are all different levels of okay, saving the whole city or saving the
Yeah, but I
the
guess
whole
so. Like, say you're saving Metropolis. Let's say like
sure.
you're saving Superman is saving Metropolis. It's not being a cosmic hero.
No,
Is he being a street level hero by saving Metropolis, or is he being what's the middle term in
I
there?
think there's lots of them though. I think it's a whole spectrum. It's a whole continuum, and there's like lots of notches along the way on that. Like if it's like a ruler where there's lots of lines between 1 and 12 inches, um, there's lots of numbers in between. and I think that's kind of where everything lives between those two.
Okay.
Some things are all the way to one side, some things are all the way to the other side of them, but everything else is in between. Something like a Hard Traveling Heroes, like I think is kind of somewhere in between. I think something like honestly, a lot of depending on the story, a lot of like Green Lantern stories are not really cosmic. They're about like a particular planet or place where something's happening.
Yeah.
Right? It's happening out in space, but doesn't involve the fate of the whole universe like a crisis does or something.
I agree. I'm going to try something with Spider-Man. Okay. I have a list of Spider-Man villains in front of me. And you're going to tell me if the story involves this villain. Is it a street level story? Is it somewhere in the middle? Or is it cosmic? And let's keep a little tally.
I like it.
And where that little tally is going to determine, just based on Spider-Man's like most popular villains.
Sure.
Is he more anything than one or the other? Okay. This is no particular order, and by no particular I mean this is the order from the Wikipedia article that I pulled up.
Great.
Okay. Chameleon. Master of disguise who could look like anybody.
Those stories tend to be, well, I guess my frame of reference for that is older stuff.
That's okay. It doesn't matter.
And that tended to be a little bit more street level.
Yeah.
So
okay, so is street level personal? Does it become personal? Or is it, because it's still like, even at a street level, if you're fighting the Kingpin, you're still saving the city. So
yeah.
I guess the question is like, what are you saving the city from? Right? And does that actually determine the street of it? Are you saving it from drugs? Are you saving it from extortion or racketeering? Or are you saving it from an alien invasion? Right? I guess that's
that does.
Does street actually mean realistic or close, or get it bar to like getting closer to realistic?
I think it does. I think it kind of does. I think it's realistic, and it kind of implies like a certain kind of like blue collar as well, right?
Yep, I would agree with that. Yeah, less. I don't know, because there are street level Batman stories, and Batman is truly anything but blue collar most of the time, unless you go to absolute Batman.
Sure.
So I'm not
sure.
But anyway, Chameleon, probably street. Vulture.
That feels like somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. I agree.
Yeah.
Dr. Octopus. It's a little I think somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah. There's some big sci-fi concepts.
Yeah.
Sandman. Street. Man who turns himself into sand is a street level character.
Yeah.
Lizard.
In between.
Electro. Street.
Electro.
Keep in mind, he was a lineman for an electric company. That's how he got his powers.
I know. That's why I'm actually kind of
like blue collar.
A little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mysterio.
Cosmic.
Ooh, that big? I mean, technically, if you look at the movies, yeah. I wouldn't. Mysterio's all flash and bangs, though. It's not real.
Let's go somewhere in between, then. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in between. Green Goblin. It's certainly not cosmic most of the time.
It's not cosmic, but it's also definitely not purely street level. So
not street. No, somewhere in the middle. Kraven the Hunter. He's got magic jungle potion. Direct quote. Just yeah. I
don't think I ever tried that.
Stanley was the best. Yeah. Magic jungle potion. All right, everybody, I'm going golfing.
All right.
Yeah. Awesome. Couldn't get away.
Jungle is not street.
But
it's also not cosmic.
But he does It is this concrete jungle that he
It is the
hunts
concrete jungle. Yes. Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah. Uh, uh, Scorpion.
Oh, Scorpion.
You know, big battle suit. You know, all that
Is it?
stuff.
Is it Street?
I'd say Street
I
somewhere
would
in
call that one
this,
Street.
somewhere in the middle. Morbius.
That's then now we're verging on
He's one of the
cosmic.
bigger Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
That he's the living vampire. You know,
Yeah.
so somewhere
Verging on cosmic, but I think somewhere in between.
yeah, not really cosmic. I think like they have to go to space, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
or some kind of multiversal
Yeah. Yeah.
but you're definitely in the sci-fi middle over
On
there.
that. Yeah. That's yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Venom, cosmic, right?
Venom
It's
is
Earthbound.
cosmic.
Yeah, but Venom is cosmic. He's the symbiote is an alien, right?
Yep.
You know, but then you have like Silvermane, um,
Mm,
you know, that's street level, Hammerhead, um, Grizzly. Like he's got a like I'm looking at here, there's like
Rhino.
a rhino. There's a lot of like just I'm just robbing a bank or I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
doing
Well,
it.
just looking at what we our quick tally here, we got 5 street level, 6 in between, and 1 cosmic. So his distribution is definitely on the lower end of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Like he has some stuff that if it was like a scatter plot chart, right? You'd see all the dots scattered on the street
Mhm.
level side of the spectrum with like a few creeping over
Yep.
to the cosmic.
Yeah. These are, you know, the earliest villains.
Right.
You know, I didn't get into a lot of them, but like kind of like you said, like going down the list.
Yeah.
Hydro Man, Puma, Black Tarantula, Mr. Negative, Screwball. These are all lower end. These are all lower end. We're not conquering the universe characters.
Yeah.
So I guess the divide is if you go to space, if your cast of villains is interested in conquering more than just the city,
Mm-hmm.
you are no longer a street level character.
Yeah. Yeah. I I think anything we try to say is probably oversimplifying it, but that's as good as explanation as I can come up with.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's a fun rabbit hole. It's because he's genuinely tierless. Like he's too strong for street. He's too grounded for cosmic.
That's good.
Um, you know, so the truth is that he's hard to pin down. Um, and like, yeah, I don't know. Spider-Man is a street level hero the same way that Breaking Bad is a show about a chemistry teacher. It's like technically that is accurate, but it's a wildly incomplete explanation.
Yep. I agree with that. Yeah.
So
And I think you could make a really strong argument about that for any hero. And I think that's
mm,
maybe like the conversation that should be had is like you're by pigeonholing them into one in particular thing, you're doing that character a disservice.
I think that is true for the vast majority, honestly, of comic book heroes. I think that there are some that get pigeonholed and get stuck, like BC tier characters who get kind of stuck. Um, I'm thinking about like a Plastic Man or something.
Sure.
That's just like he's got his lane and that's it. But like one day, some auteur will see something in Plastic Man and write the most transformative graphic novel that you've ever heard of, and it will bring you to tears, and it'll be called Plastic Man.
Yeah.
And you know it'll be an interpretation, and you'll be like, "Wow, he's not a street level character anymore." But until that day happens, Plastic Man's a pretty street level character, right? Like that's I think most characters have the potential if someone sees it in them. And some
Right.
of these really enduring characters like Spider-Man or the Trinity or anybody, anybody like that, they've been they've had the opportunity to be a million different versions of themselves, and we've gotten to see them try on different personas, sort of, and a lot of them stick. But as somebody like a Plastic Man, he really hasn't had a chance to come out of the toy box very much and be anything other than what he is.
True. And I mean, some characters just can't. But
some just can't support it.
Yeah, because they don't have a good supporting cast. To go back to your like the villain determines the supporting cast determines the viability of the hero. It's not just Superman out there on his own. It's also Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen and Perry White and the whole super family and the villains and and then the larger DC universe and like how they interact with him and everything. It's just one to create one hero or one villain is one thing, but how they continue on with the supporting cast. I think that's why, let's say, a non-DC Marvel, why Invincible was so popular, why the show is so successful, because it's not just Mark.
That's right.
It's the whole supporting cast and it's just like, and the compelling story and all these things. So like to say that one character is just this is especially characters that have an immense amount of flexibility, the flexibility of a spider, say, then it's it's no, then okay, you're only hearing the character. Frank, this is we're going in reverse here, but we never Lois and Clarked.
All right, let's close with that.
All right, through this. Oh yes, he was about to become Superman, if I remember correctly. Like,
yes,
dam threatening a town. Then, out of sight of his coworkers, he could move at the speed he wanted. He opened the atlas and scanned the European map at a flash. The area map he took with him, providing detail he might need. Then he shed the glasses, the brown suit, and the self that moved like ordinary men, and left that end of the hall conference room at the speed that rifled the pages of the atlas. The pressure of air thumped the windows of the dark adjacent conference rooms, windows that reflected red and blue off their disturbed substance. He opened the stairwell door ever so carefully compared to the speed at which he wanted to move. He pulled it shut at a speed that didn't blow the hydraulic cylinder, and then looked up and up, feet leaving the ground, course spiraling faster and faster. I should read this like the Fleischer cartoon. Faster and faster at the stairwell, with all his senses alert to anyone using the stairs. No sense of power at first, not even of speed, just the lightness of being, just the impatience to be up at the stars and moving, and knowledge that using the steps at super speed would shake the spine of the building. It was the sinuous twist of the body and a flight path up the stairwell at floor numbers, painted on the walls, bird past 34, 35, 36, 50, and higher. Fast, but not even yet fast enough for the air shock to rattle doors and set off alarms. The door at the very top of the stairwell, carefully handled, afforded him an exit onto the roof of the gray soup of blowing rain. With all the metropolis spread around him, blurred in the mist, he delayed only to drop the packet that was Clark into the heavy-lidded hiding place that looked like, but wasn't, a feature of the Daily Planet's building roof access cupola. Lightning whitened the roof, threw details of the cupola into stark light and shadow, and before the light faded from his eyes and the thunder rolled, Superman was up into the storm.
All right.
He did it.
Up and away.
There's a whole page to describe up and away. Indeed.
Well, page 8 was wonderful.
It was wonderful. You remember that we were on page 8. Sure were. We're about to come to a paragraph break, so I will read to that section next time. But
exciting.
Until then, Frank, where can the people find us?
beerwithgeeks.com. That's going to be the place to find us. You will find past episodes of Beer with Geeks. You'll find all sorts of fun goodies there. You'll find all the links to like and subscribe and follow us in all of the places on all the podcast apps. And you can rate and review us in those places as well to help the show out. Tell a friend. That's always a great way. Also share an episode. A show like ours that covers a different topic week to week is a great kind of show to share with different friends depending on the topic. So that's something that there's a bunch of podcasts that I really enjoy that are kind of all over the place. And I find myself sharing different episodes with different friends. So anyway, that's those are the ways you can support us.
Good. Well, you know what they say: tell a marketer, tell a friend. So next time you get a potential spam call, you answer it and be like, "Hey, I got a show for you."
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, there we go. Frank, a pleasure to talk to you as always. So until next time, cheers.
Cheers.